Hello there.
Well, hello, my friends. We meet again. It's been a while. Where should we begin? Today, we are taking a look at probably one of the best live performances that we are lucky enough to have recorded in such excellent quality. I'm talking about Death live at Eindhoven in 1998. So, without further ado, hit like and subscribe. Trying out these new concert analyzing, live footage analyzing videos here. So if you'd like that, leave that down in the comments. Let's get into the video here. So yeah, I think this one has been upscaled into HD. So of course we're gonna do Crystal Mountain. What other song would we do? All right, well, first of all, right off the bat, fun fact, if you use the period button on YouTube, you can skip forward just by 1 frame. So right off the bat, all right, you got, of course, the classic Stealth. You got the Valve State 8100. I wonder if these might be dummy cabs, but I'm not too sure. Maybe, maybe not. You can see he's mic'd up 2 of them here. We got 1 mic there, and then can't tell what that one would be. And this one looks like an SM57 classic. Looking at the back, we got Richard Christie, Pearl drum kit, probably a rental. I don't really see him shipping this kit overseas, but maybe he did. Maybe it was his own kit. Who knows, right? So looks like he's got 2-piece and then 1, 2, 3, and I think he has 2 floor toms plus a snare. So that would be an 8-piece kit, right? So he's got an 8-piece Pearl with a nice rack. Looks like the power rack. Lots of cymbals, right? When you listen to Richard Christie play, you hear a lot of the cymbal work, especially on the Sound of Perseverance. But this is interesting, right? This is a Gene Hoglan song, right? Look at the drip check. First of all, we got, Chuck in the tight black shirt. He's got the nice jeans, nice tight jeans, late 90s jeans. And he's got a nice watch on. I can't exactly tell what type of watch that is. It's too bad a quality here, but pretty nice. He looks like a full-grown adult, right? Very, very cool. You kind of like to see that. While we're here, actually, you can tell, I can't really tell. Yeah, I can't really tell exactly what bass amp that might be. Would that be a Crate, maybe? Yeah, that looks like maybe some sort of Ampeg. Probably like a 4x14 cab, maybe? I don't know, I could be wrong. Interesting, Chuck plays the higher harmonies on that little run there. Very cool. Yeah, very cool. When you watch him play this, and I hope you can hear my guitar, he plays the chords on the upstroke, right? That's a very cool. It gives a different sound then. You hear the higher strings kind of first, right? So it's kind of a very cool sound. I know before I watched this like a while ago and I saw that, and I was told by my guitar teacher as well. I was playing it like, which has a different sound than. If I was a better guitar player, you could tell. That'd be easier to tell, but All right, let's continue on. I'll stop pausing. All right, okay, so now we have Shannon Harm here. Drip check. He's got the Jackson with the skulls. I forget exactly what type that is. Yeah, I think he is playing this guitar, or a version of this guitar. Maybe we'll see if we can get a better picture of it in a second. But yeah, look at Scott Clenderin too. Got the nice tucked in shirt with the jeans. Again, they look like adults here on stage, right? Very, very different from a lot of the other sort of death metal bands here. But you can definitely tell they were going for more of a mature and refined sound, I guess. There we go. That's a much better view. Yeah, 1995 USA Jackson Soloist. I think this is what he was playing here. Very cool guitar. $5,000 Canadian. Woo! Pretty expensive. I assume that was a pretty expensive guitar in the 90s as well. Beautiful. Nice Floyd Rose too, right? Probably Floyd Rose original. Yeah, beautiful guitar. Oh, and you can tell he also has a Valve State 8100 with 2 cabs, and I assume they're mic'd up or with 4 cabs, and I assume they're mic'd up the same way. Try to give it like the same sort of sound, right? Maybe like a stereo kind of approach thing. Sometimes you see guitarists will have 2 different like amps on stage, but they have the exact same setup, which is kind of cool. I really love how clean that sounds there, despite the fact that they're still playing on, you know, distorted channels, right? It's just a very, very clean sound. It's a very clean riff. And of course, right, this is just the trusty old Line 6 Spider. But I wonder if he turned down the volume a little bit here. Let's see. Maybe we can see when he goes into the next riff if he plays at the volume of this stealth here. Of course, right, Chuck playing his famous stealth, of course. Nope, doesn't look like he touched the volume at all there. Almost sounds like somebody's guitar is a little bit out of tune there. I've heard that, let's just get a picture of Chuck again here. I have heard on the grapevine that he used very, very thin strings. I think he used I think it was 9 gauge, so 46 on the low E string on his stealth, which is a 24 and 5/8, I think, scale guitar. So a little bit shorter scale than your longer Strat, right? And they play in D standard. So with thin strings, shorter scale guitar, your strings are going to be extremely loose, which gives them the ability to do the crazy bends and stuff, right? But, you know, you really got to be careful not to push the strings out of tune yourself by pushing too hard, or, you know, your guitar just simply goes out of tune because there's not that much tension. Like, I've heard that Chuck notoriously had a lot of tuning problems. Of course, I never saw him live. He sadly passed away when I was like 5 years old, but anyways. All right, okay, drip check. Shannon Harm here. You know, first of all, love the jeans. I think there's a picture of him a little bit earlier. Oh, I've seen this concert so many times. He's wearing some nice sneakers. He's got the nice, like, baggy late 90s jeans. You know, he's got the nice tank top with the shirt, right? Again, a very adult, sort of mature looking band, right? Especially if you think 1998, right? Nu metal. You know, a lot of the other bands are sort of embracing this sort of like alternative looks. These guys sort of went the opposite way. Like, you know, you would see a band wear this nowadays and it wouldn't seem totally out of place. You know what I mean, right? Interesting too. Shannon, the quote-unquote lead guitarist, plays the easier, you know, quote-unquote easier part there, and Chuck plays the little run there. Very interesting. As well, right, we are listening to Chuck play Crystal Mountain with his later Sound of Perseverance vocals, which definitely gives it a much sort of like angrier sound. His vocals on Symbolic, I find, aren't that distorted. Like, there's a lot more of his voice in it, right? If that makes any sense to you guys. Whereas on Sound of Perseverance and Individual Thought Patterns, a lot more distortion in his voice. And of course, right, on the Sound of Perseverance, much higher as well. He's got to sit here and admire just how clean his guitar is. You know, gloss black paint job, you know, pretty easy to get fingerprints all over it, right? So very, very clean. I love it there. Also, that riff was sick, and I love that squealy at the end there. I'm just going to go back and listen to it one more time. Oh, yeah. That's not on the album. Finally, we get to see Richard Christy here. Okay. So if we look, right, Gene Hoglan's normal kit setup, right, he has 2 rides. You can go see his thing on, like, the Atomic Clock, like, it's all over YouTube. But if you look, Richard Christy, double ride as well. I can't exactly tell what brand of cymbals these are. You know, like, kind of looks like a Zildjian A Custom, just based off how shiny they are. But, you know, they could be, like, AAXs too by Sabian. I don't know. I also think he has 2 hi-hats. Like, I think he has a hi-hat. Hold on, let me smooth myself 1 second. I think he has a hi-hat here as well, hi-hat there, 2 rides. So he's got a double ride, double hi-hat setup. A lot of cymbals, gives you a lot of room for his very ambidextrous playing. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Richard Christy, or one of my favorite drummers, and his performance on this is excellent as well. Yeah, he's doing Gene Hoglan's work justice here, which is not very simple, right? Gene Hoglan's a very tough drummer to emulate, for sure. Okay, so we got a better view here. Skim forward here. All right, okay, so yeah, you can sort of see this here now a little bit better. He's got a ride, a hi-hat, and what looks to be a Zilbell. You hear that quite often on the Sound of Perseverance too. 1, 2, 2 splashes. 1, 2, 3, 3 crashes. So he has 2 rides, 2 hi-hats, a bell, so that's 5, plus 2 splashes and 3 crashes. So he's got 10 cymbals and 8 drums. So an 18-part drum kit. Yeah, no wonder he's got a rack, right? Also, kind of looks like Sean Reinert here, you know, with the long ponytail, you know, the sleeveless shirt. Yeah, rest in peace, Sean Reinert. Look at it here. What a beautiful scene in the Netherlands here. Huge packed crowd to go see Death that day. I think they were replacing some band. I don't remember who they were replacing, but pretty huge turnout for somebody who's replacing a band. This looks to be like maybe like late afternoon sometime in there. Great harmony playing there on those riffs. Yeah, excellent harmonies there. They're playing them perfectly in time. Of course they would. Why wouldn't they? Which, you know, is interesting too, because I think in the album version, there's a second guitar playing there. So cool that they, you know, sort of just omitted the other rhythm guitar and just played the harmonies together. I always like when bands kind of do that live. When you see that, it kind of gives you a different appreciation for the harmony part. As long as they don't go overboard with it, right? Of course, you know. Yeah, cool stuff. Let's see if we can see. I can't tell exactly what type of bass Scott is playing. Looks to be a 5-string. 5-string black, maybe like an Ibanez or Schecter, maybe. I don't know. I can't really tell. God, that transition works so well. I think I mentioned it in my Crystal Mountain deep dive, or maybe I didn't, but oftentimes, like, transitions in death songs can kind of feel a little bit awkward, but for some reason that transition out of the solo and the solo riff right back into that main really chunky heavy riff just really works well. Yeah, it's excellent. Oh, let's check it. Look at that Shannon with the 90s kicks. Like, man, like, bro, like those jeans and those shoes. Actually, hold on. Sorry, I gotta move myself here again so you guys can see it properly. Yeah, look at those shoes. Look at those shoes and those jeans. If that's not late 90s, bro, like I don't know what is. I don't know what is. I love it. I absolutely love it. Absolutely Kino, hair blowing in the wind, backlighting. What a great scene there. This guy, this cameraman doing an absolutely fantastic job with that. Absolutely amazing. Getting the perfect shot of Chuck. Some of the best footage ever, I think, honestly. Way better than the live at LA stuff. You can see that plays the power chords with his pinky instead of the, you know, ring finger. He's wearing some sort of necklace too. I can't really exactly tell what that is. If anybody knows, leave that in the comments. Almost sounds like he was running out of breath there a little bit. Let's listen to that again. Yeah, he changes the cadence of the live words there. And if you watch a lot of the live songs, he doesn't really do that often. So maybe he was like running out of breath there because he kind of gave the last, you know, like, you know, because he kind of went, I got streams made of steel, stronger than any faith. You know, he kind of gave it a little bit extra mustard, I guess you could say. Oh, look at that. He looks to be what sort of looks like Chelsea boots, maybe that could be. I don't know, Chelsea boots with the gray pants, with the tucked in black t-shirt, like damn, like style icon. Drip out of control. The boots really give him kind of like a different stance too, right? It's sort of, it's almost like, you know, a woman wearing high heels, right? It sort of, you know, puts your, you know, if you think about it, right? When you're standing, and your heels are up a little bit, right? Standing definitely gives you a different stance, a little bit of different presence on the stage too. Very, very cool. A little bit extra height too, you know? Who doesn't like being a little bit extra tall? You know what I mean? Like that always helps. Sounds like Shannon stepped on a chorus pedal there. Kind of gives us some extra fatness in that riff. You can hear that if you go back. And you can see him step on it right there, yeah. But it definitely sounds like there's a chorus on this now, right? That wasn't there the first time they played this riff. That part's really cool. I explained it in my Crystal Mountain deep dive, but Chuck is playing eighth notes on his guitar while Shannon is playing half notes while the kick drums are doing 16th notes, while Richard Christie does quarter note fills on the toms. Every quarter note he hits to like do. So essentially you got 16th notes, 8th notes, quarter notes, and half notes all going on in that same part. They're really, really cool. Maybe we'll re-listen to that so you can hear it again. Yeah, sick. So sick. Look at that. He's locked in. I never noticed it. You can see the drum tech. He's fixing one of the tom mics there. I think I gotta... Look, you can see him. Oh, he's fixing it. It's falling off. He's trying not to get hit. Dude, nothing quite hurts if you get a drumstick right on your fingers. Like, if you ever been a drummer, I used to play drums when I was little. Like, you mess up and you hit your finger with the drums, or like somebody does it. It really, really hurts. So that's a brave roadie. Absolutely sick scream. Wish you would have done that on the album. Sick. Yeah, Chuck. Hell yeah. You know, interesting there too. They're playing what originally is played on the acoustic on the album, right? You know, as it's sort of fading out, they're playing on the live lead. Very cool. Sick squealy. And then they just end it. Nobody in the crowd has any idea, just like the historical footage they're just part of. I love that ending too. Just sort of ends, you know, Symbolic, I think. How many songs fade out in Symbolic, right? You got Perennial Quest for sure, Crystal Mountain, Symbolic the song. So just those three. Oh, Thousand Eyes too fades out. So yeah, so four, like almost half the songs fade out. And I kind of wish they would have just ended it like that too. Just a real bayonet. Like, that's all you need, man. You don't need to fade out. But, you know, the acoustic outro is cool too, of course. So that was Death's Crystal Mountain, me sort of analyzing the live performance here. You know, a little bit differences from the original studio version, right? Of course, the biggest and most notable is the vocals, you know, completely different from what is on the studio version. And, you know, I feel like I'm kind of weird in this regard, but I really, 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 really like his higher vocals. I feel like they work a lot better than the lower pitched ones. But yeah, I think it works well. He does some cool little changes here and there. It's like just changed just enough to make it interesting to hear live. They didn't just play it exactly like it was, right? But it, you know, didn't deviate so far as to subtract from the overall song, right? But yeah, brilliant performance. If you guys want to give me any other live performances to react to, leave that down in the comments. I've been Varvis. Cheers.